Well, I've never tried the juice, but I hear it's pretty good. Let's talk about agave. What's up, fellow plant enthusiasts? My name is Dylan Bain, and this is Bain's Botanicals. Today, we're going to be talking about agave. It's our first succulent video. I'm so excited. I have a bunch of succulents, so if you guys like succulents, we're going to cover a lot of them. Agave is, maybe to somebody who doesn't know a lot about plants, could be confused with aloe. Both are used commercially, and they do kind of have a similar growth habit. But one big difference, most people know what an aloe looks like, but one big difference with agave is a lot of them, if we get real close here, these have literally spikes on top. I mean, they are sharp. I mean, I think even when I was buying this one, I went to pick it up in the nursery pot and it stabbed my finger. I mean, they're pretty sharp. Of course, in nature, that's a defense mechanism because they're trying to retain water. And in a hot, kind of desolate environment, there's going to be animals that are thirsty and looking for sustenance, and that's kind of how they defend themselves. This particular agave is an agave filifera, if I'm saying that right. And it's pretty, you guys might hear my cat, that's fine. I've got 4 cats and they're a handful. This one's pretty solid, like when I push it, like it doesn't have a lot of give to it. I'm trying not to stab myself, but a lot of people are, wow, look at that. It's got a little buddy coming up there. How about that? Huh, I have to look into that. I'll look at my camera just moving. My goodness, that's fine. A lot of people are scared of succulents, maybe because they've had a bad experience with them. Maybe they've just tried the wrong kind of succulent, or they've just done the improper care. We're going to go into that a little bit right now. Light, bright light. Succulents like bright light. Not direct sun, especially aloes. Aloes will burn if you give them direct sun. Something like this will too. And the reason for that is, even though they grow outside and they might be used to being in a hot, sunny environment in nature, these particular plants, like this actual plant, is not used to that. It grew up in a greenhouse. It didn't grow up in the American Southwest or in the hotter deserts of Africa or Madagascar or anything. So it's sensitive to that. It's kind of like a human being that didn't spend a lot of time outside suddenly going and trying to tan on the beach in Florida. Of course they're going to scorch. So just grow lights are good, next to the window's good, that kind of thing. Just don't, it's not a low light plant, and it's not something you should put outside in the direct sun. Watering, this is the key to succulents. I'm going to tell you the secret right now, and I'll discuss this in greater detail in another video. The biggest problem people have with succulents, I think, is probably watering. They're overwatering them, which will kill them quickly because they'll get root rot, stem rot, that kind of thing. Or they're not watering them enough. I think that is kind of the key. Succulents that are not cactus need more water than you think. I mean, they definitely need to dry out, and they definitely don't need to, the soil doesn't need to be moist. But a cactus, you can let it sit for a long time because they can survive. Think about a barrel cactus. It's a big globe that's basically just all water. But if we look at this agave, it's got just these really thin, these don't hold as much water. So it needs more water than a cactus would. You can't just let these dry out until they die. Like I said, we'll go into that in more detail at some point, but I think that's one of the keys that people mess up with succulents. Soil, use a succulent cacti soil. Don't get anything that retains moisture for sure. It needs to be well draining. It needs to have perlite in it, or sand, or orchid bark, something that lets it drain. Fertilizing, oh no, we skipped humidity. It's a succulent, it doesn't need humidity. Don't bother with it, it doesn't matter. Fertilizing, I've heard different things, but I I fertilize this the same way I fertilize my other plants, and it seems to do just fine. So bi-weekly in the growing season, not at all in the wintertime when it's dormant. I think more specifically with cacti, you got to be careful and maybe get like a cacti specific fertilizer, which you could also use on this. That's probably what I need to start doing, but I haven't seen it suffer at all. I haven't seen any burning, so it's probably fine. But just know that succulents and cacti don't need as much fertilizer in general. You could probably even go monthly on something like this. They just, because they grow so slow, because they're not as active as like tropical plants are, there's just not as much going on for them to need the amount of nutrients that a tropical does. But they do still need some. Just keep that in mind. That's pretty much it about agave. They're really cool. This particular one has all the little hair filaments in it, which is awesome. There's a bunch of different agave, so just like any other cacti or succulent, you've got a lot of variety to choose from. Hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm going to get some more made for you, and we will definitely talk more about succulents, so maybe you'll find one you're interested in. Let me know your experience with these guys. If you have any cool ones, if you have any big ones. I know these can get fairly large, but yeah. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, I appreciate seeing you guys, and I can't wait to talk to you again. Thank you.